Are you dreading your next workout? Are you looking for any excuse to skip your next training session? Then this video is for you. Now this may sound obvious, but if you could find a way to instead look forward to your training, you would likely find that your relationship with fitness improves. Your performance in each session is better and better, and over the long run, your progress improves. So how can we do that? I'm going to share with you some practical tips that have helped me fall in love with fitness and keep me looking forward with excitement to every next session, rather than filled with dread or boredom. So obviously, it's important to actually like your workouts. So the very first thing you should do is ask yourself this: do I like the sport I'm doing or the training I'm doing for it? Or do I just do it because I feel like I have to? Or because my friends do it? Or because it's the only sport or activity I've ever done? If you don't feel an intrinsic, deep connection with your activity, it might be time to shop around for another. The reality is that there's no best sport or training method. There are countless options out there that work to develop strength, power, coordination, and aerobic fitness. If your friends drag you to CrossFit, but it just makes you feel like death every time you're doing a WOD, then it's okay to try something else. There are countless styles of resistance training, endurance sports, martial arts, movement activities like climbing, ball sports, board sports, etc. Try something new that inspires you. In the long term, being compatible with your chosen sport is important for longevity. You don't need to be married to one method or modality. You can change your preferences over time. I started out doing strictly bodyweight calisthenics, and I've discovered over time that I much prefer lifting weights. I also like to do shorter workouts where I train to failure rather than training at high volume. Oh god, there's a massive wasp right there. I gotta take care of this. Alright, where was I? But that's just me. You gotta find you, and it might take some experimentation. So if you do have the right sport or activity chosen, but you still aren't looking forward to your sessions, here are some more specific tips. First of all, keep a training log. It's really hard to overstate the importance of a rigorous training log. Not only is it the only objective source of truth for your progressive overload, but it also doubles as your session-to-session inspiration. Here's how. Take a look at your most recent training log. See what weight and reps you did, or whatever you track in your sport. What do you think you can do next time? Add a rep or two? Up the weight a little bit? Looking at my training log either right before training or even the night before helps me get stoked to improve upon my previous self. It's like dangling a little carrot on a stick in front of you. As long as you show up, you'll make some small improvements that you can be very proud of. That incremental progress gets me jazzed to go work out. Tip number 2, spice it up. If you're struggling to get psyched for the simple training itself, can you tweak some aspect of it so that it's more enjoyable? Here are some ideas. I like listening to loud metal and bass music when I'm lifting heavy. It's a proper vibe. It makes the weight feel so much lighter. For cardio, I try to run at sunset in a pretty place where it's just a joy to be outside. Can you do your workout with a buddy or with a club so that there's a fun social element? This doesn't have to be limited to just peripheral aspects of the training. You can also tweak the exercises themselves or the way you count them. Have you ever tried EMOM or every minute on the minute workouts? Have you tried training to absolute failure or keeping reps in reserve but doing more sets? Have you tried resistance pyramids or drop sets? While the stimulus in these does differ a bit, in the grand scheme of things, they're all effective tools, and the one that gives you the best results will be the one that you enjoy enough to consistently do for a long time. Personally, I'm big into doing one super intense all-out set per exercise. I find it super exciting to try really hard and leave it all out there knowing that you don't have to do it again afterwards. But the point is, no matter how many different methods or variations you've tried, there are others that you haven't, so just keep looking. Tip number 3 is to auto-regulate. One key aspect of having continuous workout motivation is to not be overtraining. If your body is overly fatigued from either too much volume or poor recovery, it's going to make it very hard for you to have the motivation to keep digging that hole deeper. So it's completely possible that the reason you aren't stoked to get in the gym and crush it is that you're actually just not ready. Sometimes just taking an extra day off will not only make your body feel better, but leave you mentally rejuvenated and excited to train again. Now, it is a fine line between taking an extra rest day because you really think you need it and just sacking it off for another reason, so use your best judgment here. Personally, because I do find that my passion for weightlifting is high enough, I know that whenever I'm not looking forward to training, it's a sign that I should not train and do something else instead. In the long run, it's much more important to do 100 or more workouts in a given year than it is to cram 4 into this week. Long-term consistency is so much more important than short-term consistency. That said, short-term consistency is what long-term consistency is made of, so if you regularly feel like you need to skip a workout, you probably need to switch up your program, either because your volume and recovery is off, or because you don't honestly feel passionate about your sport. I hope these tips help build the stoke for your next workout session to make fitness a habit and a part of your life that you'll cherish and protect forever. Take care, train hard, move often, improve your life.